The comparison has been made, repeated just how much former U.S. President Barack Obama's style and strategies resemble those of some third-world charismatic Latin American political despot. The takeover of industries by demagogues who never ran a business, the rousing rhetoric of resentment addressed to the masses, and the personal cult of the leader promoted by the media is now status quo as America slides closer to becoming the world's largest banana republic. Obama continues to quietly meet one-on-one various prospective Democratic 2020 presidential candidates in an effort to hand-pick current President Donald Trump's opposition from the Democratic Party in the upcoming presidential election. He defies acceptable protocol with his continued attempts to infiltrate and derail the current administration and restore his legacy of fundamental change. In quietly arranged one-on-one meetings confirmed by Politico, Obama is eager to be a sounding board and counselor to the Democrats he thinks has the best chance of shaping the future of the Democratic Party, as well as continue his legacy of fundamental change. Many of the conversations have circled around Obama holding forth about how much Democrats should be heading into the midterms, talking about the investigations into Russian interference in the 2016 election versus focusing on kitchen table issues. Do not chase the shiny objects, he tells them.Do not hyperventilate over the flash of any tweet. Think about what is going to stick in the minds of voters for the long term. Politico reports Obama has in recent months met with at least 9 prospective 2020 Democratic presidential candidates, including Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden and Deval Patrick, pulling them in for one-on-one sessions at his Washington office. The meetings have been held at Obama's personal office on the 3rd floor of the World Wildlife Fund building in D.C.'s West End neighborhood, and Obama continues to parade a steady stream of ambitious, searching politicians are looking for guidance and support from a man little better than a snake oil salesman, yet considered by many leftist progressives to be the leader of the Democratic Party. The Washington Examiner reports of how eager Obama is to play a role in counseling key players in the Democratic Party and helping to shape the party's future. The president was generous with his time and advice, and he was excited to talk about the future, a person familiar with one of the meetings said. Trending, De Niro was warned about trashing Trump at Tony Awards and didn't listen, got what he deserved on stage. In other words, cease with pushing the Russian collusion narrative, as Americans are sick of hearing it. Attempt to reconnect with your base.Much of the GOP, as well as several Democrats, see the Trump-Russia investigation more as a running joke, as noted by Rep.Jim Himes, DCT, and fellow Rep.Cheri Bustos, D. Illinois, back in March.Rep.Jim Himes, DCT, admits Trump-Russia probe is running joke with fellow Democrat lawmaker, says voters never ask about it. Pic.Twitter.com 7RQD3NVGF7, Josh Kaplan, at Josh Kaplan, March 6, 2018. Many Americans are more worried about everyday issues that affect them directly than the specter of some fictional Russian boogeyman supposedly involved in the 2016 U.S. election.The Democratic National Committee is in shambles and lost its last CEO in January 2018 after a mere 8 months on the job. The DNC is shedding millennial voters at an unprecedented record pace, along with a massive cash crunch and the loss of significant donors. It is not difficult to see why Obama is attempting to resuscitate the party and triage a dire situation. Politico reports Sanders, who has more respect for Obama and the work of his administration than is often portrayed, requested his meeting with the former president, held in mid-March. People told about that conversation confirmed. They talked about the future of the party and their different roles in it. They talked about what the party should be focused on and what would be distractions. Obama discussed his views on the differences between idealism and practicality, and Sanders responded with his. Obama's meeting with Elizabeth Warren was their second since he left office, while the first meeting took place in the spring of 2017, when Warren said she was troubled by the $400,000 Obama had received as compensation in return for Obama's speaking at a Wall Street investment firm. Warren referred to the arrangement an example of the snake that slithers through Washington. All reports indicate the two had a conversation about it, heard each other out, and nothing more came of the situation. The second meeting, warmer from start to finish, came just this past April and ran well into 90 minutes. They talked about Richard Cordray, the former head of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau who is now the Democratic nominee for governor in Ohio. They reminisced. They talked about Trump. Obama also had an in-person meeting with his old pal and Vice President Joe Biden. Many consider that this meeting was simply a mere formality. Many mutual friends and colleagues report that the two are said to remain personally close and speak by phone on a fairly regular basis, though Biden claims to be waiting until after the upcoming midterm elections to make a decision on whether he intends to run in 2020. If creepy Uncle Joe does indeed decide to run for president in 2020, prepare for endless compilations of him glad-handling people who are utterly creeped out by his inappropriate and lecherous advances. Zero Hedge reports that Obama's involvement with the 2020 perspectives comes after calls from major Democrat donors to take on a bigger public role in the fight against Trump. While the former president hasn't directly done so, perhaps due to the overwhelming evidence emerging that he was involved in the FBI DOJ's espionage efforts on the Trump campaign, Obama has been privately urging donors to kick in fresh funds to the Democratic National Committee. Politico also reports that lesser-known Democratic politicians have been coordinating with Obama, such as former New Orleans Mayor Mitch Landrieu and Jason Kander, the failed 2016 Missouri Senate candidate who is considering his own run for the White House. Meanwhile, DNC leadership is virtually begging Obama to help salvage the party. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has urged Obama over the phone to see massive fundraising as the best way he can help Senate Democrats in 2018. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi has also been on the phone with Obama, urging him toward fundraising, and he's now scheduled to do a fundraising event for the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee on June 29 in the Bay Area. Democratic National Committee Chair Tom Perez also continues to check in. We note that the words Hillary and Clinton are nowhere to be found in Politico's coverage. Perhaps those meetings are just super secret, or maybe the Democrats are simply done with her.